Bonus Chapter 2. They Get into Trouble. The captain took them through the village and up to the wooden fort. It was very like a toy fort that Joe had had once. It even had a wooden drawbridge that could be pulled up or let down. It was let down for them to walk over. Toy cannons stood here and there. Joe went up to one. "Funny old cannon," he said. "Look, there's a knob to pull back and then let it go, just like the toy cannon I had on my little fort at home." He pulled back the knob and let it go. Then, bang! The cannon went off with a loud noise. The wobbly man was so shocked he almost fell over, and it took a lot of wobbles for him to stand upright again. The toys in the village below were so frightened when the cannon went bang that they all rushed out of their little houses and ran for their lives. The captain was very angry indeed. "Now see what you've done," he said to Joe. "Let off the cannon and scared everybody. You must be mad." "I'm very sorry," said Joe. "I never thought the cannon would actually go off like that." "Well, what did you think would happen?" said the captain angrily. "Whistle a tune or dance a jig, nobody dared to laugh." The captain led them on again, and soon they came to a door that led into the wooden tower. They went in and found themselves in a room with a table and a chair at one end, and nothing else. The captain sat himself down in the chair. "Stand up straight," he said. Everybody stood up very straight, even Saucepan Man. "Salute," said the captain, and everybody saluted, though Moonface with the wrong hand. But Moonface used the wrong hand. "Dismiss," said the captain, and everybody stared. What did he mean? "No, that's wrong," said the captain. "Don't dismiss. Stand at ease." They obeyed. The captain rapped loudly on the table. "You are accused of not being toys. You are accused of punching Wobbly Man, and you are also accused of setting off a cannon. Setting off the cannons, you." "Only one Wobbly Man and one cannon," said Joe. "We're sorry, and we won't do it again." "Well, dismiss now." But before they could go, they heard the noise of marching feet, and into the room came about 50 toy soldiers, all very wooden. They surrounded the children and the others. "To the deepest dungeons with them," shouted the captain. "No," shouted Joe, and he pushed the nearest soldier hard. The soldier fell against the soldier next to him, who knocked him over. Then that one fell against the next one, and he went down too, knocking the soldier next to him, and before 5 seconds had passed, every soldier was lying flat on the floor. "It's like playing dominoes. Knock the first over, and down goes the whole row," said Franny with a giggle. The captain looked alarmed. What was he to do with people like these? Goodness, one push and all his soldiers were down. He banged on the table. "Order! Order! Get up! Do you think you are Skittles, men?" The men got up, but none of them would go near the little group of 6 prisoners. "Now listen," said the captain. "Either you become toys, or you go to the deepest dungeon. You can choose." "All right, we'll be toys then," said Joe, with a grin. "I'll be a clockwork clown, and go head over heels all the time." He began to go head over heels around the room, and knocked into one of the soldiers. Down they all went again, like a row of skittles. "Right, you're a clockwork clown," said the captain. "What will you be?" and he pointed to Moonface. "A teddy bear," grinned Moonface, with a growl in my middle. and he pushed himself in the middle and pretended to growl. "I'll be a doll," said Silky, and began to walk about stiffly like a doll. "And I'll be a furry grey rabbit," said the Saucepan Man. "I'll grow long floppy ears and grey fur." "Well, we'll be dolls," said Beth and Franny together, and they walked about stiffly like Silky, giggling all the time. "Right," said the captain thankfully. "You are now toys and can return to the land of toys. Dismiss." The 6 of them went out laughing, Joe still turning head over heels, just for fun. They went over the drawbridge and into the town, and in the distance they saw an enormous Noah's Ark. "Let's go to see all the animals coming out 2 by 2, said Beth, and they set off. Fanny was just going to say something to Saucepan, who was in front of her, when she stopped and stared hard. She saw something very peculiar. Saucepan wore a saucepan for a hat as usual, but, goodness, he had suddenly grown 2 huge floppy ears. The saucepan sat on top, and it looked very odd. "Saucepan," said Fanny, astonished. "Saucepan, what's wrong with you?" Saucepan turned around, surprised, and everybody got a tremendous shock. His face was covered in grey fur, and he had a long whiskers. "He's a toy rabbit," said Franny, with a squeal. "Saucepan, you're a toy rabbit. You said you would be, and now you are." They were all very surprised. They stared and stared at poor Saucepan, who, particularly to see his face all grey, topped with 2 floppy ears and long quivering whiskers. Saucepan looked at himself in one of the bright pans, which he used as a mirror. He was shocked to see a furry face looking back at him. He gazed around the others, scared, when he gave a shout and pointed to Joe. "Well, look at him. He's a clockwork clown now, hat and all. Yes, he's got a key in his back. Joe, you're a clockwork clown. No wonder you keep going head over heels." Joe turned to the others and somersaulted at once. The others gazed at him. "Yes, Joe, you're a clown, with a clown's hat and suit." His face was dabbed with red and white, like a clown too. Franny looked at the others and squealed again. "Look at Moonface. He's a fat, round little teddy bear, with a round teddy bear face that's hardly like Moonface at all. Oh, Moonface, is it really you?" "Yes," said Moonface, putting up his hand to feel his face. "Oh dear, I've gone all furry. Where are my clothes? They've gone." Joe pressed him in the middle, and an alarming growl came out. "Grrr!" "Don't," said Silky. "You made me jump. Don't press him again, Joe. Oh my goodness, that is dreadful. We are all toys. Look at me." "You're not so bad," said Joe, looking at her. "You look like the prettiest doll I've ever seen. And Beth and Franny are dolls too. Look at them walking about, as stiff as they can be. Beth, can you sit down?" "Not very easily," said Beth, trying to sit on a nearby wall. "I can't seem to bend, and I can't shut my eyes either." "Perhaps they will shut when you lie down," said Moonface, speaking in a funny growly voice. So Beth laid down and on some grass, and for a moment at once her eyes shut. "Yes, we're really toys," said Franny. "It must have begun to happen when we said we'd be toys, and chose what we'd be. But we only said it for fun. I know, but you never know what will happen in the land that you come to the top of when it comes to the top of the faraway tree," said Joe. "Moonface, we stop being toys when we get out of this land." "No, I don't think so," said the teddy bear. "And anyway, how do you think How do you think you are going head over heels down the faraway tree? We'll just have to hope that this will all wear off. I don't like being a toy rabbit, said Saucepan sadly. I feel silly. Do you think my face will become my own again if I wish it? No, said Joe, turning head over heels for about the 50th time. Toy rabbits always stay furry. It's your ears that look so funny, said with that, Saucepan stuck on top of them. Why don't you take it off? Well, I might get a cold, said the Saucepan Man. I always wear a hat. I don't feel right without a saucepan for a hat. You certainly don't look right now, said Moonface, in his growly voice. Nor do you, said Saucepan. I wish you'd look like Moonface again. I don't like you when you look like that. Oh, come on, said Joe, going head over heels again. Let's explore the village of toys, and hope all of this wears off. If only I didn't have to go head over heels so often. I'm getting rather tired of it. So are we, said Franny, getting out of his way. Do keep over there, Joe. You'll knock me over. The little group went through the village of toys. Nobody took much notice of them now, because they looked exactly like toys. Wobbly Man wobbled about, looking very busy, and Teddy Bear lazed around, fat and cheerful. Dolls of all kinds went there and here, and they saw the little clockwork mouse again. Meow, said the Saucepan Man, and it fled. You're unkind to it, said Franny. It's a dear little thing, oh dear. I do feel funny walking stiffly like this. I'm sure I couldn't run even if I had to. Look, here comes the Noah's Ark animals, said Joe, getting up from another somersault. 2 by 2, just as they should. 2 lions, 2 bears, 2 rabbits, 2 ducks, 2 mice, went Franny. Meow, said the Saucepan Man once again. Meow. But the Noah's Ark mice took no notice of him. However, somebody else did. Behind the mice were 2 cats, and one of them left the row of animals and came over to the Saucepan Man, glaring at him. What did you say just then? Said the wooden cat. Meow, said the Saucepan Man. Meow, meow, meow. How dare you call me such a rude name? Said the cat, and showed claws in her wooden paws. Saucepan Man backed away hurriedly. I didn't mean to call you names, he said. I just said meow, meow, meow to the mouse. Well, that means you are an ugly cat with a crooked tail, said the cat angrily. My tail is not crooked. Don't use cat language if you don't know what it means. Get back into line, cat, called Mr. Noah, and the cat obeyed. Saucepan was very relieved. Goodness, to think that those simple meows had meant all that time that in cat language we really must be careful. Let's go on, he said to the others, who, as surprised as he was, Moonface might suddenly begin to growl, and goodness knows what that might mean in bear language. We don't want the 2 white bears and the 2 brown bears over there to come after us. Well, let's go another way, said Joe gloomily, turning another somersault. Blow this head over heels business. I'm tired of it. They turned down another way. Oh dear, was this strange spell wearing off yet? It didn't seem like it was.